through the an aggressive growth.
Making sense out of.
Yeah, so you got the whole meet in the first chat. That's even better.
Ransom Shield.
And you know, it's
Good morning, Ty. How are you?
Hey, Shar, after that intro, I'm even better. I'm amazing.
Well, as you know, we are just so thrilled to be kicking off the inaugural LinkedIn Live for Coach Con. Your baby, your vision, your mission in life to really empower individuals like me and others. So, Ty, what a great moment to be sharing this with you.
Thank you, Shar. I'm super excited and honored to be here. Like you said, this has been years in the making. I'm so glad this is the year we get to take it to market and introduce everyone to what we think is a groundbreaking approach to the coaching industry.
Well, and guys, as you know, Dr. Ty here has not only been an entrepreneur, he's also been in the financial. He's done coaching ever since his career began. And so, Ty, I feel like you have a passion play along with years of experience to really help our coaching industry be better at what we're doing. But more importantly, you bring years of experience so that we can get there faster, smarter, and much more efficient. So, Ty, tell everyone where their coaching career started, because I feel like that is the heart and soul of CoachCon.
You know, I think everybody's coaching career, everybody who comes from corporate America has done some sort of coaching. If you had teams, if you worked in a matrix organization, whatever you did in your corporate life, you would have had to advise, coach, mentor, train staff at some point. And so everybody like myself, that's how I got into coaching. However, I really took it seriously after I started going through my StrengthsFinder journey. When I was in corporate America, every time I had a major milestone, we would do the StrengthsFinder assessment, and that would kind of inform you of what you need to do in your job, how you need to apply your strengths, and what you need to evolve. So when I left corporate America and I went into entrepreneurship, I spent about 12 years in entrepreneurship before I realized I want to do that Gallup StrengthsFinder assessment one more time and make sure I'm really leaning into what my strengths are. And when I took it, I realized, you know what? The highs of my life were when I was really zoned in on my strengths, and the lows were when I was just doing a job or a role because I wanted to do it or I enjoyed it. And so I thought, how can I share this with people? How can I show people what it means to really live your best life, really be intentional and empower yourself based on your strengths? So I got to Gallup, I got certified as a coach, and I started my coaching business. And like everyone else, you have to get that first 1, 2, 3, 4 clients. And there are all of these coaching programs. I know because I was working with a company that sold a ton of these things, but there are all of these coaching programs out there that say, we can do this and you can do that. And as a coach, you become so overwhelmed with all of the options and the people and the things, and like, how do you grow your coaching business? There's so much in the market. And I thought to myself, wow, it's overwhelming for me. I can imagine that coach who only wants to coach, that's maybe not business savvy, but only wants to coach what they have to deal with. And so we figured, okay, how do we tackle this?
Well, and guys, this is that perfect segue, right? When you think about why the coaching industry is broken then. Because if it starts out with, some training and some opportunity, but yet the coaching industry is broken, Ty, what is happening right now in the coaching industry?
I think everyone who wants to be a coach, everyone who has a story to tell wants to be a coach. It's a lot easier now to step into becoming a coach. But everybody who doesn't have a story to tell or who wants to make money also thinks it's easy to become a coach. And so the market is littered with people who are really qualified, impactful, have something to say, and people who just want to make money or think it's an easy route or figure they could be the next Tony Robbins. And so you have a whole bunch of people in your audience that are good, that are qualified, that are not good, that are all over the place. And then on the flip side, you have people who just want to make money on these very same people. So they're like, I have a program. I can do this. I can give you this. I can offer you this. This is what you should do. Here's a new course. And so the market is just, it's the wild, wild west out here. It is a complete, it's very chaotic in terms of who wants to be a coach, who's serious about being a coach, who is offering services for a coach, and who can help coaches. And because the market is all over the place and you have a lot of people doing a lot of things that are sometimes not right, sometimes not fair, sometimes not true, it's causing a lot of chaos, and it's hurting the coaching industry. It's hurting coaches.
Well, and I think that's a perfect, insight because of the fact that you've had years of experience on coaching. There's some fundamentals, guys, that have to happen in your coaching business. First of all, it's a business. A lot of people come into this, and Ty, you and I have joked about this quite often, that this is a side hustle that they just decided to do. And so their clients feel like it's a side hustle versus like, hey, this is my life I'm entrusting you with. Are you going to do what it takes to get me the results I want? And I feel like that's another part of why the coaching industry is broken, is because there's no fundamental foundational pieces that help our coaches really succeed in having a coaching business.
You're absolutely right, Shar. It's a lot of fluff that's out there. A lot of these coaches, when they're just starting their business, they jump on as many free webinars as possible, and they try to piece together the value and the information that they have, and they try to make it. And some are successful, but some of the foundations out there, what people give you, even after you buy the program, it's a lot of fluff. It's not the tangibility. It's not the foundational stuff. It's stuff that people have put together. Sometimes people don't even have experience to put it together, but they cobble something together and they pushed it out there. And so as a result, you end up having people who try something and fail, try something and fail, try something and fail, and get completely disenchanted with the whole process. And they really do have a message at something to tell. And so, I think that there can be a whole lot done, a whole lot better.
Well, I just got, nothing's going to be bad about entrepreneurs, being born to share and serve. When it's born out of this, kind of doesn't really work. You're just piecing it together, hoping it will stick, and it doesn't work that way. When you have a coaching business, coach is not only a title of full responsibility, but you also have an obligation to make sure that you're providing the best ultimate service so that they can get the result. But Ty, that's not what's happening.
No, it's not. It's not. What you're having people serving themselves and not serving the audience. And they mask it sometimes by saying, yeah, we're going to serve the audience, we're going to add value, but they're not adding value. They're trying to figure out, how do we make that next buck? How do we put just enough out there for somebody to be interested enough to buy? And that's not really fair to coaches. That's not fair to people who are really just trying to break free. You either leave corporate and give value to their customers, or really share a message, a powerful message that they've had, or give people the support that they think that they need. Like, there are genuine people out there. There are people who are really good coaches and have something to add and a message people want to hear. And sometimes they get drowned out because either they've been given something that's not good or valuable, or they're fighting against the noise with people who really don't have much to say.
Well, and I just feel like the word coach next to your name has, to me, a lot of power. And so you have a responsibility to your clients and to yourselves as you continue to build your business to really take that responsibility to the next level. And Ty, you and I just said this in our past webinar, that coach is not just a title, but I mean, it's a responsibility.
Absolutely, Shar. Like you said, with great power comes great responsibility. And so, once you put that name, people inherently now believe that you are empowered to give them value. You are credible. You're somebody that they can idolize, that they can learn from, that they can role model. And frivolously using it is what causes a lot of damage in the space. It's why, again, not just coaches, but consumers or customers of coaches get disenchanted and disenfranchised, because they believe that if you're telling me you're a coach and I'm giving you my money, I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you my effort, then I want you to give me back something that's going to change in my world, in my life, that's going to transform me in my business. And if you can't do that, then you're really abusing that title of coach.
Well, Ty, one of the things that I remember is when I first started out my coaching business, I always thought, I'm here to help and serve. And I always came into that mentality. If I were to say what was my starting price, and now I would say I would never do it again that way, because I felt like the price had a lot to do with the outcomes and the results. And so a lot of coaches, another reason why the coaching industry is broken is because a lot of people don't charge. Not only don't they charge, but they also don't see the value of the charge.
Well, to your earlier point, Char, they treat it like a hobby, a side hustle. They say, "I'm not really sure." Imposter syndrome creeps in, and they think that they're not qualified, but they want to do it anyway. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because then on the flip side, you have people who are not qualified that are charging big money and
Yes.
taking advantage of folks. So it is critical. It's super critical to really believe in yourself, have the confidence to go to market, make sure that your message is strong and tailored. And these are the things that we want to address. These are the solutions that we want to put in place, like curating that message, ensuring you know what your program looks like, figuring out from real experts, people who have done it, built the business, been successful, have done it again and again and again. These are the things that we're putting in place when we think of the concept of CoachCon.
Well, and that's why, guys, this is the inaugural event, because there is a solution for you and for you inspiring coaches who are either watching this live today or the recording. There is a solution because we don't want the coaching industry to stay broken. We want to be able to come and fix it, add value to it, and of course help you. And so this is why Ty has been driven over the last couple of years to really bring this to market. And together we're doing this. So tell us, what are you doing about it, Ty? What are you doing to help us?
So over the past few years, I've watched coaches struggle. I've watched the early stage coach, that coach who's got 1 to 5 clients that they coach one-on-one, or maybe they've broken and they got into 1 to 10 clients and they're just figuring out what a group looks like. I've seen them struggle and I've understood the pain point. And what we've decided to do is we've decided to create a solution that not just allows those coaches to offer their clients something new, that doesn't just allow those coaches to get a new line of revenue, that doesn't just allow those coaches to learn in partnership with their people, but celebrates those coaches as if they were like world-class, top of the stage, top tier coaches, right? We built a 2-day experience, Shar, that allows coaches to come in, partner and participate with some of the biggest names on stages, learn from them as they share their wisdom and their knowledge. And then those same coaches get to work with their clients. They get to bring their 1 to 5, their 5 to 10 clients and work in a group. Now, these clients could be all of their clients. They could be their VIP clients. They could be clients that they're about to renew. They can be whatever that they want, but we've now created an intimate and a curated space for every single coach to come to CoachCon with their clients, participate on the main stage, and then partner and have an intimate debrief of what just happened over and over and over again, session after session after session. In addition, we've also brought in a lot of resources, world-class resources, people who have the tools, the resources, the opportunities to help coaches in their business. This 2-day virtual conference, Shar, is meant for every early stage coach who is serving 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20 clients to come in, really digest what they need to take their business to the next level, pick up the tools, resources, and solutions that will help them get there. And by the time they're done, to have a much more bonded, tighted, and more collective feel with their clients as they take the next step in their journey.
Wow. Guys, I don't know if you heard this, but CoachCon is a 2-day event. They're going to not only look at your business from the starting point to where you want to go, but they're going to bring in experts together to help you accomplish this. Because there is no way you're going to make entrepreneurship in any role, any responsibility successful if you don't have a team around you. And Ty, I just want everyone to hear again the power of having a coach conference, especially at an early stage. What is the difference between someone who does attend and someone who doesn't attend?
The difference between somebody who doesn't attend is you're going to ask yourself in 3 months and 6 months and 8 months, like, why am I still in the same place? Why can't I do? The difference with the people who do attend and don't attend CoachCon is the progress that they will make in their business. You attend CoachCon, you're there with other coaches. You're there watching other coaches with their clients. You're with your clients. You're listening to speakers that are instrumental in their business, but then you're getting to work with your clients on exactly what those speakers said. You're getting to be part of the rooms where the newest, the most forefront of technology, the most forefront of solutions, the best and brightest services are being offered that you can pick up like that. You are now part of a community, and it's not just this CoachCon. CoachCon happens every quarter. So you are now part of a community of coaches that you can now count on, depend on, partner with, collaborate with, be in tandem with as you build your clients and as they build theirs. You are now about to embark on a journey. CoachCon is a groundbreaking idea that brings the coaching industry together and doesn't divide people based on somebody's teachings or rhetoric. It brings you together because you collaborate and you work, not just with your clients, with each other and with renowned speakers.
Guys, I cannot tell you how rewarding it has been to work side by side with Ty because of the fact of his passion, his drive. But more importantly, when we all started out our own businesses, nothing was here for people like us. We had to build it in order for it to work, for our businesses to grow, and for us to scale. So Ty, again, thank you so much for starting this, not only a great idea of CoachCon, but actually executing, having a place for all of us coaches who are aspiring to be coaches together, like you, community, the skills, and that one of the biggest hurdles I think everyone is much more to coaching, and there's so much more solutions and tools out there that we are going to be providing that here at CoachCon, and of course with Coach the Coach Academy. Everybody, we're so excited for this inaugural launch and just to be here with you every single week. We'll be bringing this live to you where Ty will come in with his expertise and his experience so that we can really help navigate you through building your coaching business. Ty, again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shar. And don't forget to check us out on social media. We're on all the platforms. We'd love to see and hear from you. There's still opportunities if anybody wants to participate as a coach or as a potential partner. We'd love to have you in here. So looking forward to the next couple of weeks where we break it down even more and share with you more about this experience so that you can come join us.
Perfect. Thanks again, Ty. Thanks everyone for being here. And we